wrong with my hair today? It's so everywhere. What is... What's up, party people, and welcome back to my channel. So I'm calling today's video my shopping list. So this is kind of a new series I want to start doing if you guys enjoy it, where I basically give you guys my recommendations on only one brand, because I get so many comments from you guys telling me that you're placing big orders and you want to know my recommendations, and it's so hard to find the time to sit there and list out every single thing that I recommend from every brand. So I figured this would be like a good place to just kind of consolidate all the information into one video. So today we were talking all about ColourPop, which is one of my favorite brands, and I've tried a lot from ColourPop. Like, I even have its own organizer full of just ColourPop stuff. So not only will I be giving you guys my recommendations, but I'll also be telling you guys stuff that I think you should avoid. So this is pretty much like a best and worst. So without further ado, if you guys want to see my ColourPop recommendations and also products to avoid, and basically give you guys a shopping list idea, then please keep watching. So I feel like it's only right to talk about the products that kind of kickstarted ColourPop as a brand and really made them contenders in the beauty world, you know, like really set them apart from other brands and made them special. And that is the Super Shock eyeshadow collection. Now, I have these laying everywhere. So yeah, let's talk about these shimmery Super Shock eyeshadows first, because I feel like the mattes and the shimmers are two different things. These, in case you haven't heard, are seriously the most unique formula. These are kind of like a putty. They apply like a cream eyeshadow, but they set to be like a powder eyeshadow. They're so long wearing. These are actually like stains for your eyes. They're just opaque and creamy and soft. Now, I will say one thing that you have to keep in mind with these, like with the entire Super Shock collection, that's really hard to say, Super Shock. You have to make sure that the lid stays tight. With this formula, if you leave it off too long, or like if you leave the cap sitting off of it, or even if you don't tighten it really well, they will dry out. And I have experienced that, not necessarily with the shimmery ones. I mean, they dried out a little bit, but definitely with the matte ones. I will say these definitely work better with your fingers. I don't really have much success with them when it comes to using a brush. Now let's talk about the matte ones, because my opinion on these are different. I do not like these. I have not had one successful run with the matte eyeshadows, because like I said, these are a lot better when you use your finger. And if you're using this like to put in your crease or something, they're just so hard to work with. And these also dry out a lot faster. I've had a lot of these for a while, and I pretty much can't get any pigmentation out of them. And again, I'm very self-conscious and very conscientious about how I tighten them and stuff, so it's definitely not my doing. Now, you guys may like a matte eyeshadow all over the lid, and you could still apply them with your finger if you like it for that purpose. But I'm someone that usually goes for a matte eyeshadow in the crease or the outer V, and these just don't work for me when it comes to that. So if you want to try one, definitely don't get more than one or two at a time. They have a very short lifespan. So yeah, I would say pass on the matte ones unless you just like to use them on your eyelid, just, you know, like just a one solid wash of color. So let's talk about their Super Shock highlighters. As far as the formula goes, it's the same kind of formula. It's that weird like cream to powder putty type formula. Like when you press your finger into it, it leaves a dent, but then when it sits on your skin for a while and it kind of dries down, it turns into like a powder. They're so long wearing. Now, I will say there are a few shades I really don't like. Honestly, the only one that I have that I truly do like is Wisp, because there are a couple that I've tried, like in particular, let me see, Lunch Money and Spoon and Stole the Show. These just don't sit on my skin very well, and I don't know why. Maybe it's just a matter of tone, but like Lunch Money, this one's a very popular one, and so is Stole the Show. This one's just a straight up like a whitish gold, so it should work for me like most white gold highlighters do. Now, as far as the application goes, again, these do work better with your finger, but I like to apply it with my finger, like just lay it down with my finger, but I really don't like to apply things on top of foundation with my fingers, because I feel like it just causes transfer and it just kind of moves the foundation around. So I like to use most of the time either a stippling brush like this, and that's really dense. But honestly, my favorite way to apply this is just with a sponge, like with a damp sponge, whether it be a Beauty Blender or Real Techniques sponge. I really do like these little Miracle Eraser sponges from Real Techniques, and these are really, really good for any kind of cream products, especially with these highlighters. So it has a little flat edge over here, and you can just like stamp it right on. But yeah, the Super Shock highlighters I do recommend. I just don't recommend every single shade. Moving on to the next Super Shock things, these are the blushes. Now, when I first started using these, I absolutely loved them. They give your skin such a beautiful, flawless effect. Like, it almost looks like there's a filter over your skin. They look so soft, and they look like a regular powder blush. So I feel like anyone could wear these, whether you have dry skin, oily skin, whatever. And again, these are like stains for your cheeks. Like, they stay on all day long, but again, where these are matte, they do dry up really, really easily. So I recommend not getting too many shades at once. Just start out with like one or two and try to use that up, because like this one, like, I don't know if you guys can see that it literally looks like Play-Doh. I do like these. I don't use them every single day. It's kind of like a rare occasion that I use them, but it's only because It's a little bit trickier to work with. I'm just not a cream person, but I do like these. So moving on to some of my favorite products in the world, and I have so many of these. This is my favorite lipstick formula. These are the Lippie Stix. The reason I like these so much is number one, because they're so long wearing. I feel like ColourPop products for the most part across the board are so long wearing. They have matte finishes, cream, and matte X. So matte X is kind of like the super matte finishes, and then matte is, I mean, I don't really know what the big difference is. I just feel like matte X is a little bit more drying, but still very creamy. Like it's still a very unique formula. The cream ones have a really pretty shine to them. They're so comfortable. They're not sticky. They're not thick feeling, and they wear away very evenly and just very comfortably. So keeping with the lip trend, let's go on to the Lippy Pencils. So these are $5. So the Lippie Stix are $5.50, and these are $5. This is my favorite lip liner formula. So are we seeing a pattern here? Again, super creamy. They just glide on the lips, and they're so long wearing. I mean, these will seriously last through eating and everything. Like, unless you actually take them off, they will stay put. The only thing that I have a problem with is the packaging, and I've talked about this numerous times. Pretty much every time I've talked about the lip pencils, I've talked about it, but as soon as you sharpen them, there becomes an issue. So it's like the lip pencil is separate from the actual shell, like the outer shell of the lip liner. So when you sharpen it, for some reason, it just loosens the lip pencil in it, and it just kind of falls in there and goes back and forth. After I sharpen it, I'll always have to like shake it down and apply it, and it'll usually fall back in there, and I'll have to shake it down again and apply it. It's really awful. If a lid falls off or something, the lip pencil will come out and fall off too, so it'll get everywhere. Just very, very bad packaging. They need to address this, but as far as the formula goes, there's nothing that beats it, especially for $5. So keeping with the lips, let's talk about their Ultra Matte Liquid Lipsticks. So these are $6. Again, they have so many different shades to choose from. I just don't like matte lips. I don't like liquid lipsticks. They just don't do anything they don't emphasize anything good. They just emphasize the lines in your lips, and these always gave me that really ugly cat butthole look where they kind of start separating and kind of clearing out in the inner rim of your lips. So after they released their Ultra Matte lips, they actually released their Ultra Satin Liquid Lipsticks, and these were supposed to be a little more comfortable and not as drying, but in my opinion, I mean, these are better. Like, I feel like this is a way better liquid lipstick formula, especially like for the trend. I feel like these are way too matte, but these are definitely a lot more comfortable, but it's still the same problems. They make your lips look really nice at first. Like, it almost looks like a fake lip color, like if you were to edit a lip color onto your lips. Like, they just look so perfect and so smooth at first, but then they dry down and they emphasize your lines and they dry out. These are a better formula. If you were to try either one, I would say try the Ultra Satins over the mattes. I feel like these, like the Satins, are a lot more promising, but again, I don't like them. So the last products I have to talk about in the lip section are the Ultra Glossy Lips and the Ultra Metallic Lips. I'm throwing these together because I feel like they're pretty much the exact same type of product. Like, they're both kind of like glosses, but these are so messy. They bleed like crazy. They are not long lasting whatsoever. Really glossy, a lot of shine, but they do not last, and they get all over my teeth. They get all over the outside of my lip. It doesn't matter if I use a lip liner or if I put them on top of a lipstick, they'll still do it. The next thing I have are their pressed powder blushes. So these are $8. They make your skin look so soft and airbrushed and smooth, and they really do apply nicely. And you would, like, I was kind of afraid that these would be super pigmented and they'd be kind of hard to work with, but they actually start off to be more sheer. Like, the more you blend them, the more they sheer out. So they're really not that scary, which I'm pretty shocked by, but I do like these. They make your skin look really pretty, and again, they're very, very long wearing. Moving on to their eyeliner. So they have two different types of eyeliners. They have their stick liner. This is called their cream gel liner, and then they have their pot eyeliners, which are called cream gel colors. So I feel like they should just call it what it is, like call it a stick liner, call it a retractable liner, and then call it a gel liner, because that is very confusing. Cream gel liner, like that should be what the gel liner is called. So I have several shades of the stick liner, and I do not like this. I haven't liked it from the get-go. On the eyes, these just do not work for me. I cannot get much translation. They pull, they tug, they're just not creamy. These are just a no-go for me. And then the cream gel colors, aka the pot liners, the gel liners, these are very, very long wearing, okay? This is one of the best liners for the waterline. However, they dry down really, really fast. So if you're someone that's kind of like a novice at eyeliner like me, like especially when it comes to a wing, do not use this to make a wing, because once it sets, you can't fix it. You can't erase it. You can't wipe it off with a Q-tip. It's so hard to remove. So yeah, if you're someone that really has a hard time finding an eyeliner that works well in the waterline, that will stay put, check these out, but just be very careful with these, and I would keep this to a limited use, like just in area, like just in places that you know you won't mess up on. Brow products. So I actually have tried both of their brow products. They have a brow pencil and they have a brow color. And again, the brow color is just a brow pomade, a brow product in a pot. I had used their pencils are called Brow Boss pencils. They're $5, and then the Precision Brow Colors, which are the brow pomades, are $6. I don't have any more of the brow pencils. I used them a while back, and I don't know. I just don't use that kind of pencil. It's kind of like the Anastasia Brow Wiz, where it's a very fine tip. It's really small, but I do like the formula. I would definitely pick it up again whenever I feel in the mood to use that type of product again. But I feel like this type of product, like this type of brow pencil where it's so tiny, they don't put enough in there, and I feel like I use it up in like 4 weeks. Like it takes nothing to fill in your brows with this and, you know, have it run out. So yeah, Dope Taupe is my favorite shade in that though. They have, again, so many different shades, but I do have a couple of the Precision Brow Colors, which are their brow pomades. It's very long wearing, very creamy, pigmented, but I would say if you like brow pomades, you definitely need to check here. I do have a couple of brushes to talk about. I wish I had more. I would like to try more in the future because they have a ton of face brushes and eye brushes, and they're specifically made for their products. So especially like their Super Shock products, where it's kind of hard to find good brushes that work well with them. These are made to where they do. And basically it's just like with the face brushes that I see and the eye brushes, aside from the eyeliner, it's basically just a white-haired, like a white tip stippling brush in a way. So it's not that unique, but they are good. So I have their angled eye brush, which is $5. And then I have their, what is this called? I'm trying to find it. This is their small tapered brush, which is $6. So this is just a crease blending brush, and I do like these. These are very sturdy, they're very high quality, but this eyeliner brush in particular, again, this is the angled eyeliner brush, it comes to a really fine point. Like it's pretty angled, and this is amazing for making a wing. It pretty much makes a wing for you. Like when you come to the edge, all you gotta do is flick it out a little bit, and where it's so fine and so like it just comes up to such a high point, it makes the perfect little flick, the perfect little wing. I wouldn't say the blending brush is a necessity. I do like it. It's good for, you know, the press shadows that I have from ColourPop and other shadows that I have. Like you don't have to just use these with ColourPop products. They're good for everything, but I wouldn't say this is a necessity, but these brushes are very high quality. Next up are their pressed single eyeshadows. So I have a bunch in here. So there's a few of them, and then my favorite ones are in here. So almost all of this palette is ColourPop eyeshadow. So these are $4 and $5. If you want to buy it with a compact, they're $5, and then just a little pot is just $4, like to put into a customizable palette. But I love this formula. This is my favorite eyeshadow formula of all time. They're so easy to work with, so creamy. They're easy to blend out, have no blending issues, and they're so pigmented. And the shade selection is so unique. Like this one right here is called Glass Bull. It's this weird like teal, like icy teal with a brownish, purplish iridescence to it. It's so unique. And you know, there's not shades out there like that. My all-time favorite one though, I will go ahead and say that, is this one right here called Snake Eyes. Oh my God, I've been so into this like pinky, taupey, purpley shade. I think it looks good with every kind of tone, and such a beautiful shine. So yeah, if you have to pick one thing from ColourPop to choose, I would definitely say choose the pressed single eyeshadows, because there's nothing that beats them. And then the last few things I have are their face products, which are pretty new to the line. So these are all their no filter complexion products. So I have a foundation, concealer, and a loose powder and a pressed powder. And I actually just did an entire video reviewing and demoing all these products because this is their first foundation, which is a pretty big deal. But let's talk about their no filter matte foundation. So this is $12. They have 42 shades. Each shade is very close in tone to each other, and they all seem to be very warm and very golden. I'm actually wearing this foundation right now, but I'm just not the biggest fan of the formula. I will say this is not a matte foundation. This is more of like a natural finish foundation. There is a little bit of glow to it. This does make me oily in my T-zone, right around my nose. And like even right here, like when I turn this way, you can see in the crevices of my nose how shiny it gets. But it just gets way too shiny and kind of cakey right through here. Like right in the center of my face where it matters the most. I don't know, like this is definitely not my favorite foundation. It's definitely not what I expected. I thought it would be way better than this. And then I have the no filter concealer. This is $6. They have 30 shades, a very good shade selection, especially for under the eyes for pretty much everybody. I have the shades Light 10 and Fair 08, which both work for me. I mean, they're pretty close. Fair 08 is a little bit more cool tone, a little bit more pasty on me, and Light Light 10 has a little bit more of a yellow undertone. I really do like this concealer. It's pretty full coverage, it's very buildable, it's really creamy and blends out nicely, and it holds up all day long. Very minimal creasing, minimal fading, and it's not too drying under my eyes. Now, I will say if you have very dry under eyes, this may be too drying for you because it is more of like a matte finish. It's not super dewy, it's not super hydrating or anything, so I would recommend these. And then I have their No Filter Sheer Matte Press Powder in the shade Fair. This is $9. They have 6 shades to choose from, but I don't understand what this does because there's no pigment from it. It doesn't really brighten. This is the fair shade, so I got this for under my eyes to brighten, and it doesn't really do anything. I mean, I guess it mattifies a little bit, but there's no translation. That's my biggest problem. I don't look for something that has a lot of coverage, so I'm not upset about that. I'm just upset about the fact that it's basically useless. And then I have their No Filter Loose Setting Powder, which is $9. I have the shade Translucent, and this is so tiny. I showed you guys comparisons in my other video. This looks like a deluxe size, like a trial size. It's ridiculous. Like, you can barely fit your brush in here. When you first apply it, it looks very smooth. It blurs your pores out. It blurs over your skin, your fine lines. It looks very flawless. But it doesn't hold up on me, and it doesn't mattify enough. I'm not someone that looks for a super mattifying powder because I still like more of a dew, like more of a glow to my skin. I don't really like anything to be super matte. I just look for something that at least normalizes my skin a little bit to where it controls the oil when it needs to. And like I said, it broke down, like my foundation broke down really bad around my nose. This might be good for people with dry skin. Actually, in that video, I had some comments saying that they had dry skin and it works really well for them because it really isn't too mattifying. So that would be a good thing for people with dry skin. But if you have oily skin, I would stay away from this. So that is it for my ColourPop shopping list. I hope you guys enjoyed this video and got some ideas and some direction for when you get on the website. I will have a link below to get $5 off your first order. You can't use this if you've already placed an order before. This is just for your first order. So you'll get $5 off. I'll get $5 off, and I can put that back into my channel and to try new products for you guys and reviewing some more stuff. So yeah, that's it for this video. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Make sure you give this video a thumbs up if you did. Subscribe to my channel, have a little button right down there, and right next to it, hit the notification bell to be notified of when I upload, and I will see you guys in my next one. Mwah.